Ryan Alford.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast News. It's Friday, March 12th, 2021, and we're brought to you, as always, live in the Radcast studios in the beautiful Greenville, South Carolina, here at the home of Radical, one of the South's fastest growing digital agencies, and the place we call home. Welcome to the show, as always, my host, Reiley Clark.
Co-host. I'll give myself some credit here. You are the host.
Okay.
You are the host of the Radcast.
Oh, whatever. We're hosting and you're the hostess with the mostest, though.
yeah, obviously. I'm over here with the huge games.
The host with the most.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's good week, and it's almost St. Patrick's Day.
It is almost NCAA bracket tournament time. I feel like I needed a special voice for that.
We can see where our priorities are.
That comes from the old Mike and Mike in the Morning. If anyone's listening, listen to Mike and Mike in the Morning. I missed that show. Mike Golick and Mike something else.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think, actually the bigger one. Mike, I'm blanking. Anyway, they did a sheet of integrity, like where you fill out a bracket, your sheet. And anyway, so NCAA bracket time. I'm excited. I've
been so behind.
I never watched basketball. I just like the basketball tournament. Like,
okay. I was
gonna
say,
I love basketball in general, but the NCAA tournament time is.
How do you know what you're gonna like?
Oh, I totally just make it up.
You just
make
it up.
Especially now, not watching that many games. I know, like ACC basketball, being a Clemson fan and watching a handful of games here and there. But I catch a few games. Like I watched earlier today, there's the ACC tournaments on and stuff like that. So
nice.
But it's good.
Yeah, it's been warm though.
Yes, it is warming up here at G Vegas.
Good. It's been feeling good. It's good for my soul. It's good for the soul.
Yes.
All the good sunshine.
I don't like the 70-30, 70-48,
Yeah.
65-22. Like
when does it start just staying at 70?
You're
plus. 70 plus.
3 weeks.
Okay.
We're not far.
Good to know.
Spring is here, though.
Yes.
And it's been a good week at Radical. We've been busy, as we always are. Do we ever say we're not busy? Like, because I don't think it would just. It just doesn't exist. I kind of like it's like the talk track. Oh, we are busy this week. Yes, we were.
Yes.
It's been a good week.
Always.
Yes. Yes. Cue busy. We could just tee it up on the talk track on our new soundboard. If we get one, we'll be like, just hit the part where we say we're busy.
Yeah, exactly. I'll try a little something here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got it. It's coming through the video, so you'll see it eventually.
Yes, we are busy.
Yes.
No, it's been a good week, and I hope everyone enjoyed Tuesday's episode release.
Yes.
Yes.
That was an awesome episode, and we'll have another one coming out, obviously, next Tuesday. But this is a really cool group, too. They are a transportation application software company based out of Toronto, Canada, and really cool software, and it's interesting. It's I think it's going to start trickling into the U.S. It hasn't already. It's beginning to, so that's going to be a cool process, and you'll like that episode. Innovation.
Yeah. So this week we had Noah Sims, and next week we have our Hoppin' Tech guys from Canada. Cool guys, good concept, green concept, using existing infrastructure. I love it. And it was a very good episode, and I think you'll enjoy it. Definitely a businessy episode about scaling and business and all that stuff. And funny enough, Noah messaged me right before we came in here to record. I love Noah. He's become one of my favorite people. He's off
awesome.
to another adventure, and we're talking with him about coming to one of our GVL Hustle events. If you're in the Greenville area, there will be announcements soon about our April GVL Hustle event. This is a networking, collaboration, community, and any other C word that I could come up with. We bring together the best, the brightest, the coolest, the movers, the shakers, the money makers of Greenville to get together and network and, have a good time, talk about topics and events. And it's a learning session while meeting people, and we lob in a few cocktails, and we call it GVL Hustle.
Exactly. It's a fun time. I'm excited for it. It'll be my first one.
It'll be your first one.
Yeah, I know. I'm
your
excited.
First time.
I know. I'm excited. I'm very excited, and it'll be even cooler if Noah will be able to
We'll
come,
be out
so
on the
that'll be
porch.
awesome.
We have a huge porch area, so it'll be even with the COVID numbers shrinking, we'll still be as socially distant and responsible as we can be.
Absolutely.
And but luckily, our good friend Noah will probably be here. More details to be released, but be marking and looking at your calendars for late April if you're in the Greenville area. If you're not in the Greenville area and you just want to make a trip to meet some hell of a fine good people, it would be a good time to do that.
It'd be a super fun, good time to do that. And also in other news this week, I mean, this week was on Monday, it was International Women's Day, and just acknowledging everything that, women are doing in the workforce or just in general about life. So to you women that are listening to our podcast, we love you, appreciate you, and especially this week and especially this month. So it's awesome. Woman to woman, we got this. But it was really cool to see. If you haven't seen this news, it's definitely interesting. Bumble's CEO, Whitney, I want to make sure I say her name right, Whitney Wolfe Herd. First of all, cool name. She is the youngest female self-made billionaire after taking the company public. So it's super cool thing, super exciting, and just love seeing that innovation come. I mean, she co-founded Tinder and then eventually came to Bumble and created this amazing space. So that's just really cool, and props to her, and awesome to just kind of highlight that this kind of time.
Absolutely. It's hard. I see these things and it's like, it's so far like out of my periphery. I'm not a woman, obviously, but you like to think you've come so far that I don't look through that lens of, I just try to work and hang around and be with and hire, the best people no matter what. But when you reflect back and you look back at, it hasn't always been this way.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate what has happened and what's changed, and we appreciate our women.
Yeah, yeah. It's just cool. It's cool.
Yes.
Good to acknowledge and just support everyone. So it's just nice to be able to have that space. But in the space of just like being supportive and feeling springy and everything, I am going to cue up our wine time.
Yes, I love it.
So our wine time, let's do it's kind of a spring day, friends, good food, chilling, obviously COVID responsible, distant still, but what kind of wine are you going for? It's more of party atmosphere, not like food atmosphere, more kind of party, but springy.
Yep. This is one that I thought about saving for summer. I was thinking because I knew it was, but it went too much in line because it has that summer spring feel. Mm-hmm. It actually, being a guy that's drank wine for 20 plus years, and it kind of opened my eyes a couple years ago to this varietal, and because I've always been more red, 80% red, 20% other, like I've talked about before. Definitely had, and tasted types of wines, but this one kind of opened my eyes. This is actually a wine that Gary V started. It's called Empathy Wines. He's since sold it to a broader market. It got bought by one of the bigger players, but he did sell it. But Empathy Wines Rosé.
Ooh, so, a rosé.
Yes,
we haven't hit rosé yet.
Yeah, rosé all day.
It could be dangerous.
Yes, and you will be all the way. I've been there myself, I think, a few times. That's funny. But yes, so yes, rosé. This is. Look, I don't know. I get on here and I talk about wine, and my friends think I'm like this connoisseur, and I am not like Mr. Textbook knowledge wine person. I like wine. I buy wine. I save wine. I drink a lot of it. And I've had the pleasure and benefit of knowing people in it and all that. So I've learned, what I've learned. Mm-hmm. But I'm not a connoisseur officially. Mm-hmm. I'm not a sommelier. I just know what I like and what I taste. And this was the first rosé that I had. It was in the summer of like 17, 18 when it first came out, whatever year that was. I follow and catch. I'm not like this avid everyday Gary V guy. Some of his stuff kind of like, it just wears me out a little bit, but I do respect what he's done in the marketing and business world. I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I tried the wine because I was like, okay, he talked about it. He's a good salesman. And I'm like, rosé. I've been wanting to get into something else. So I only did it. It's Chardonnay. Supposedly Chardonnay, the grapes are left on a little bit longer, the red grapes, and thus it gives it the color. instead of being a white, all lighter colored wine. The grape cover stays on just a little bit longer, so it makes it that red color. And but yeah, I had it, ordered it, and I was like, damn, it was the first rosé that I had that wasn't too dry. Chardonnay just dries the hell out of my mouth. It's like okay, it's supposed to be cold and wet, and like it's a white wine, and Chardonnay is just like sucks it out of my life. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. He talked about it, and it was like super smooth, didn't overly dry your mouth, had that classic kind of rosé, the little bit of the white and the red kind of flavor, but more towards white. Just really fresh, not fruity, but just really drinkable.
Really?
Like dangerously drinkable. Like, I think I drank like 2 bottles that day with a couple of people, like between 3 of us though. And it was, I think my wife and we had some friends over, and it was like, we had like 4 bottles, and I think 3 of them were gone by the time the night was over. And I was like, man, that was really easy to drink. And one thing that makes it easier than standard red wine is, it's cooler. We kept it, chilled. And so, I don't know, it just goes down easier, but really smooth, really kind of turned me on to rosé. I've been trying different ones, but I still kind of come back to it. Yeah. It is a really well made, and definitely a good spring-ish summer party wine. Nice. Okay. Affordable, $15-$20, maybe, in bulk can be bought for less, but somewhere around there, which for a really good rosé is a good price. So totally approachable on the value point. And as much as it annoyed me a little bit, just being like Gary V's thing, not because I don't hate on him, but I was just kind of like, I'm going to be that guy ordering Gary V's wine. But damn, it was good. He wasn't bullshitting. So
well, that's good.
So hats off to Gary, and I made some money selling that whole operation. But really good rosé, and definitely one I would recommend for anyone looking for a good spring party wine.
Nice. Okay, so it was Empathy
Wines Rosé.
Rosé. Okay, noted.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here's Reiley with the news.
Okay, our weekly news, marketing and advertising headlines you're not going to want to miss. Our first one, this is super fun. Smirnoff is partnering with SideBarre in an effort to bring more. It's just this thing we've seen over and over again in recent news, this cross-industry collaboration, partnering together, bringing a different kind of experiential marketing experience. And I think this is really cool. So essentially they have 4 dates that they'll be doing this class, and then they'll be doing a cocktail making session afterwards with Smirnoff. And the first one was last week, but there's 3 more that you still have an opportunity to hit, March 23rd and March 27th. So all the details are on Smirnoff.com, but 21 plus, obviously.
So a couple things here. Interesting play. SideBarre being, if you follow fitness and you follow anything, everything's moved online. It's coaching and training online. So SideBarre, I think, is primarily, if not all, I don't know everything about their history, but primarily online, bar classes and stuff. Right. I don't know if you have to have a bar at home. Like, I've never been. Yeah, I'm a nimble 6'5", 260 myself, and so the bar has never kind of been my thing, But having seen the classes a few years ago, I kind of envision myself like, balancing and holding my leg up and not doing so well, but nonetheless, so the notion of this, sometimes we have these fitness discussions, and I'm like, I can get in that. Oh yeah. This one came up. Reiley brought it on the news segment. I'm like, this is a cool little brand play. A lot of angles here, and I like the integration. But damn, that bar stuff just does not sound interesting. Have you done a bar class?
Honestly, no, I have not.
Okay.
I honestly have
not. Isn't it based off of, what dance is it? Like is there a certain dance that the bar is
I couldn't tell you. I'm a yoga girl, so
right.
Anyway. The Zumba and things like that. I'm like, I just think it's interesting because I like how it's bringing together just working on your personal self, your health and your wellness, but also like you can also have a little fun afterwards. And I like the mixing part. I mean, hell, you don't want to know how to make a nice little
Well, that's become all the rage. Like a lot of the clients that we work in do, like, they were looking for ways to like have events and like premiums for their clients and stuff. So the sending people the cocktail mix in the mail, the bar. There's a name for this that I'm not remembering, but like bar in a box or whatever. Maybe that should be. Hey, there's a name. If that doesn't exist, it should.
Right.
But that's been all the rage for like ways to, how do you want people to come watch your event, but you need to give them a break in between, like listening to boring speakers.
Yeah.
Here, make your cocktail while you listen to Jim. You'll want to drink 2 of them.
Well, right. But I also think it's cool. They have different speakers and different basically introductory sessions for this, but they have different mentors coming into the space, which I think is cool,
make it really interesting is if you drank the 5 drinks before
it even happened.
Before the bar.
Record yourself before and after during the Smirnoff bar sidebar.
Yes. So.
Yeah, but good topic, and it looks fun. Definitely. I'm curious though. I do want to check it out because like if I'm also doing it in the comfort of my own home, then like okay.
Yeah, why not?
No one has to watch me do this. But yeah, but the next topic I'm very excited about because, we're bringing back avocados from Mexico again as another topic, but it's just necessary because they are bringing in and talk about experience. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
Today's podcast brought to you by avocados from Mexico.
Dude, call me avocados from Mexico sponsor. No, I'm just kidding.
I think Riley's hungry when she's putting together our news list. Like
when I tell you I eat an avocado a day, if not 2 or 3, sometimes it's on.
They've snuck onto the list at least 4 times in the last 2 months, I think.
I might be a little biased, what can I say? But anyway, yes. Hey, you get your wine, I get my avocados,
I love avocados too, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, see. And you're even going to love this too because they have their own merchandise embedded in this. Like,
I went to the website. I like it. I'm digging it.
So cool. So basically, it's this whole integrated experience, and they create content and they give you content based on how you're interacting with the website. Like, this is the future, right? You've been talking about this.
Yep. And so you have to log in, but this is all the rage. Personalized web experiences based on, both your behavior on the site, using, your data in a good way, and you kind of self-selecting your journey away. Because, historically websites are a very static experience. You're clicking on this, you're doing that, and it doesn't change user to user. And with Avocados from Mexico, they're bringing in both AR and personalization and making it really cool. They've got video. I couldn't believe the amount of content that they've put on the site, the quality of the content. They must be selling the hell of some avocados. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's because of me. No,
I think they are. You've got stock in them. But
it's actually where I have invested my stock.
No, I love the website. Very cool, very dynamic. Really, I didn't get a chance to completely personalize the journey, which I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna do it too.
Really, it was fascinating, but just the plethora of content and the overall experience, and you could just tell they've got a really great team behind this, and it's well thought out. And who knows how many angles you can take the avocados, because
exactly.
It felt like even like many little soap operas and stuff, like little stories, and like they have a great content team. It all looked just beautifully shot.
I know, and loyalty programs for avocados.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no kidding. I was like, but it's like, but one thing I don't know with avocados, like when you go to the store, I've noticed now the marketing's working. Sometimes you see the avocados from Mexico, but then there's always like, was it Haas? Avocados is like a brand, and like some of the generic grocery store kind. Like, I mean, have you had one? Is there a difference between avocados from Mexico? They're all from Mexico, but the brand and like another one. Do you?
I mean, I can't taste a difference. Okay. I mean, I don't notice a difference, but
we need to do an avocado taste test, like avocados from Mexico.
Say less.
Twist your arm.
Say less, right? Okay, that can happen. That can happen. No, but I just think it's fun, and like I think it's interesting, the engagement. It's so simple. It's avocados, but it's like it's bigger than that, because it's also just playing into the trends and the notion of like you can make anything personalized, and you can make your avocado experience as personalized as you want. So I just think it's cool. Our next topic, and this just tells you the effects of things happening. And little phone call here. That's okay. See, we're busy. We're a busy digital marketing agency. What can we say?
You have to admire whoever is able to make it ring. Silence was on, and it still rang.
That when they hacked the system.
You never know. Running a full system, agency here. You never know. They're going to call no matter what. They figured out how to turn my silence off while calling. I swear to God, I'm like, what?
They're going to get a hold of you one way or another. No, but our next topic is Instagram. This just tells you the powerhouse that Clubhouse and audio experiences are becoming, just engaging in this group live notion. So Instagram is doing something very similar. Instagram live rooms up to 3 people, but you can double up on the broadcast. So you can essentially bring in a whole nother group and have this really nice broadcast. Really cool. What are your thoughts about this?
It's cool. I mean, it's playing off of what you see with Clubhouse and others. I mean, people have been requesting this a lot because, Going Live's gotten huge, and it's always been like a singular experience or 1 or 2 people, I think. And now up to 4 people, it really opens the gate for what you can do, the types of shows and content you could produce, because you can have people, with COVID and everything else, you got people remote and all this, so people wanting to do and share with more people in a, it's controlled because, you've got people in different locations, but it's not the same as Clubhouse where everybody can get in and you can get the same number that's audio only. So it's definitely a different kind of experience because you've got video and play. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I'm going to go on a little bit of a sidebar. So this all was feeling very familiar when Clubhouse launched, and I couldn't remember why, but there was an app, and I was an early adopter of this. It was like in 2014, 2015, called Blab, B-L-A-B. It went for like 2 years. It took off like hotcakes the way Clubhouse did. And I knew it all felt familiar. But Blab was video, the same exact concept as Clubhouse, but with video. Mm-hmm. So you would start a room, and you would have you could put as many people as on the stage as video, and then people could watch and come on. And you could advance them onto the stage in the same way, but it was all video. Mm-hmm. It was exactly what Clubhouse is. And I used it back in the day. I actually produced iDrive on-demand podcast. We had a car. It was all about cars. And I had a show on Blab. And I was like, you sometimes forget as much as you remember.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, which struck me as like, is someone going to start that app? But I think some of the wonder of Clubhouse is the audio only, and more people feel like they can get involved. They're not worried about what they look like. They can do it from the car, do it from wherever. Right. Be listening.
You can essentially be brushing your teeth and just be in the room, and then when you need to talk, 1 second, okay, now I'm on.
But I think it opens up different show possibilities for Instagram. It adds more layers to the live aspect of the platform. Versus just yourself, and I think you're going to see good engagement from it. It'll be interesting, the concepts that kind of fall out from it. Is it going to be? It's still a little bit. I heard I stole this from a guy that was like a blog article that I read, so I didn't come up with this, and I don't remember his name, so he's not getting any credit. But I'm going to at least acknowledge that I didn't come up with it. This notion of setting a stage versus creating a hallway. So it's still kind of a stage because you have kind of a show that you set up. You go live with 3 people and it's a stage, whereas a hallway is where dialogue happens naturally. And that's kind of what Clubhouse was in the beginning, and now it's becoming more of a stage. And just like YouTube's a stage and Facebook's a stage and IGTV is a stage because you put the content there, whether it's live or not. And hallways are where more natural conversation happens. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be interesting finding the dynamic of hallways versus stages. And I think that this is another stage, but I think having the interaction that comes with more people, because what happens is if you have 1 person live versus having 4 people live, you bring in that much more audience and that much more interest. And so it'll be interesting the type of engagement that you see within that and how that content gets used and distributed. And I don't know, there's a lot of legs there, but strikes it interesting to me because, like, when we like real world application, when we first saw it, we were like, well, we should do this.
Right,
We should have a couple guests on, and we should do it like a Radcast episode, or engage with other people to do these kind of things. And it does allow you that real time opportunity to get engagement where someone can trip onto you in the middle of their Instagram scroll or feed or whatever, versus having to intentionally find you as the podcast. You got to be shopping for podcasts to find us.
Exactly.
And someone refers or whatever.
Right.
Whereas this, in the live structure, it can be kind of stumbled upon a bit, which just changes the nature of the opportunity for engagement and getting that kind of real-time feedback.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think it'll be interesting to follow this, so we'll obviously be following it here. And then our last topic for today, which this is such a cool thing. And so this is not news. This kind of was in development a couple months. Pepsi has created a sleep aid kind of relaxation de-stressor drink, Driftwell. And really cool product, really pretty product, by the way. I definitely will be queuing it up here. But I like the concept, and this goes into this bigger notion of Gen Z and millennials are going to social media and streaming more to unwind. And this has become a statistic that more people in the recovery space have been noticing. That's why a lot of people have been targeting more towards millennials when you're having these kinds of relaxation notions, things like that. And this just further proves that it's clearly been doing well. And yeah, I mean, I know you have a lot of thoughts on this, so I'm gonna let you just jump right in.
Well, I mean, it's funny how these things come like all at once, these trends that you're seeing, and not that this is like brand new or by any means, but like what we're seeing when we had Will Ahmed from Whoop On, whose fitness bands that I wear, track recovery, to Colin selling $1 million in sheets a month, and new fabrics with fabrics that help you recover, and recovery is a gigantic business now. People have realized the other side of diet, exercise is the recovery aspect, and it's not just jumping in the bed and going to sleep. It's like, how do we use technology and all these advancements that we have for recovery as well?
Exactly.
And so Pepsi's been smart. They fast-tracked this. With this drink that's got a couple amino acids and different things that help you unwind and go to sleep.
Blackberry and lavender flavor. There
we go. Blackberry and lavender. The packaging is really cool. And so they're playing into that trend. And the reality is there is way too much screen time. And people are getting into their devices and spending too much time. And with COVID, people are losing track of time because day and night have become one.
Exactly.
If you're working from home and it doesn't, you can kind of do what you need to do. I think there's been I'm sure sleep cycles are completely off. Especially in areas that have been locked down longer than others. And South Carolina have been fortunate to not have the extenuation of some of those lockdowns, but in other places they haven't been as fortunate. And, I think that's thrown things off. So Pepsi's really smart to play on this trend of recovery and this trend of, utilizing technology, supplements, and others to kind of assist in that unwinding process. And so I think you're just going to see more and more and more as this opportunity in this market explodes in the recovery space. And we will be helping tell this story because I believe in it as a huge part of kind of the process for people to live well.
I agree,
And so you're going to see us talk about it and bring on different people. We're working on a group think tank edition of Radcast in the recovery area, and perhaps even bigger things to be made. So absolutely. But it's smart by Pepsi. Playing on the other side, it's kind of a detour for them. They've got such a lifestyle brand that's kind of a little bit all in your face kind of wow. Now I got with Pepsi, kind of the stuff they do with Cardi B and everybody else. This is kind of like the softer side of it, but I think it's smart for them, and I think if marketed properly, that this product can do well. Just keep it away from Coke Energy.
You are not going to let this go, I swear. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, that is our news for today.
Yes, we appreciate everyone listening along or watching along on IGTV, YouTube, etc. You can search for the Radcast just about anywhere now, and we are the number one in the list. You literally all you got to do in your search bar, the Radcast, you will come up with our YouTube page, our website, and all the latest on the Radcast. So you know where to find us, and you know where to find me. At Ryan Alford on Instagram and the.rad.cast as well on Instagram. And we really appreciate you for listening to our weekly news segment where we bring you the latest, the greatest, the newest marketing and advertising. We'll see you next time.
See ya.